Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to a little FAQ about what I am doing with 4J Studios. So I'm calling this an FAQ. It's kind of technically not, just because I am recording this before I have announced that I'm doing anything with 4J Studios. So I'm making a few predictions for the types of questions I think people would ask. The reason I'm not doing this as an actual FAQ is because I knew that I'd probably end up getting a bunch of questions about the game that we're working on, of which I'm not going to talk anything about in this video. So sorry, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that because this video is all about me. Something that I also just want to make clear before we start is that I'm keeping anything Stampy separate from 4J. So this isn't like a paid promotion or anything. 4J haven't paid me to kind of promote anything that they're doing through my Stampy channels. It's all entirely separate. I'm basically just making this video because I want to, and I wanted to kind of inform you what is going on, because I've been pretty quiet for all of 2024 up until now, and I know people have been curious for what I've been up to. I think a lot of people think I've been having a big break and just relaxing. That's not the case. I've been working, and yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of how this all came about and what it is that I'm doing at 4J. So yeah, I guess let's start about how this came about. So last year in 2023, I got invited up to their office in Dundee with IBX Toycat, and we were shown a demo of the Elements engine. So the trailer for the Elements engine would have been released by the time that you're watching this. An engine is basically kind of all of the technology that a game is built on. So we weren't shown a game, we were just shown this technology. They did a demo to us and we kind of discussed it a little bit. And then after that trip, I went back and I wrote up a bunch of feedback on both what I thought of the engine and also kind of some ideas for if I was to make a game my way, using that technology, kind of what I would want or what I would look for or hope for in a game that's kind of in the genre that the engine kind of facilitates, I guess is a way to word that. So I sent that. I think they obviously liked that to some extent because they ended up showing me the trailer, the engine again in another trip that I went up at the very end of last year, in December of last year. I went up again, and during that trip, they basically proposed the idea where I could maybe partner with them to help them make a game. And I was very excited about this. We ended up kind of working out a deal. And so that is exactly what is going on. So what am I doing at 4J Studios? Because I'm a YouTuber, not traditionally a game developer. What am I kind of bringing to 4J Studios, and what am I actually kind of working on this game? So I am primarily on the design team. So probably about 90% of my time is spent on design. And so that kind of covers almost everything. Like almost every kind of aspect of the game needs some sort of kind of design input. And so, obviously, I can't go into any specifics, but basically, I'm kind of involved in making a lot of those creative decisions, giving my feedback and suggestions, and coming up with ideas. And yeah, that is as fun as it sounds. I absolutely love it. I love the position I'm getting to do there, and that is where the majority of my time that I'm spending at 4J is spent doing that. The other 10% is a big mixed bag. Like one of the things that we're trying to do with this is to try and be really open with the community, especially once the game is going to be announced, and kind of have like a really good dialogue with the community to kind of get feedback and listen to them and be really involved. And so I'm going to be a big part of that. So kind of almost like a bridge between 4J Studios and the community. And so some of that stuff has started already. I was kind of involved in some of the planning for setting up the 4J Studios Discord. There's some of the videos that have come out. I mean, the Elements Engine trailer, I was kind of part of helping to design kind of how the trailer would play and planning that. And then there was the office tour that you may have seen on the 4J Studios channel, which was kind of just like a showcase of the office in Dundee. Doing that video was my idea, and I kind of helped direct that. And so projects like that, maybe any live streams or anything that we're doing, are kind of be helping setting up a lot of those things. So that's kind of the other factor that I'm going to be doing at 4J Studios, but that's going to be probably more in the future once we kind of have announced the game that we're working on and people are going to be able to begin playing it. That's kind of when that side is going to really step up. So hopefully that's kind of made it clear about what I'm doing. It's hard talking around anything specific that I'm working on, but all of that will come in good time. We just need a little bit of patience. So yeah, I guess like I'll talk a little bit more personally, like about like why I am doing this. So to be clear, I didn't end Stampy because this opportunity was coming up. Like the timing just kind of really coincidentally lined up that my Lovely World was finishing in October, I think last year. And then it kind of very naturally lined up. That was around about the same time where I was having conversations with 4J Studios to do this. And it worked out perfectly because if 4J Studios had approached me a year ago, I'd have said, that sounds really cool. I can't wait to play it, but I'm too busy to to help you in any way. So it just lined up really naturally. Like none of this was kind of fully planned. And just to be clear, like I'm having the absolute time of my life. Like I've been very lucky with kind of the job that I've had for like the last 10 years doing YouTube. Like it has absolutely been a dream job. But I do feel in a way much more suited to what I'm doing now. Like I feel like, yeah, just me as a personality, I feel much more suited to kind of this sort of environment than I am doing what I'm doing now, speaking in front of a camera, because I always love doing the videos. But like, say for like a Lovely World video, my favorite part, and I've said this before, is always the designing phase. Is like if I'm designing a mini game and I spend 1 or 2 days like designing it and testing it and trying to make it as fun as possible, and then we do the video and I edit the video and I enjoy that side as well, but my favorite part is always just kind of chilling out and just kind of trying to solve a bunch of creative problems. And with the job I'm doing now, that's pretty much all I'm doing. I'm only kind of doing what is my favorite part. But then obviously the big change is that I'm doing it as part of a team. Whereas for things like Lovely World, it was, I'd have like my helpers and stuff, but in terms of the coming up with ideas and the creative and like the storyline, like that was all just entirely from me. Whereas now I'm kind of just one part of a bigger team, which in some ways isn't as good because it means like I don't get full control and, sometimes things will go in a direction that isn't what I would have done. But then that's also really exciting because then, you're working on someone else's idea or you suggest an idea that you're really excited about and you're like, oh, this is going to be perfect. And then because I'm working in a room with a bunch of really smart, experienced game designers, they might immediately point out like, but have you considered this? And I'm like, no, I didn't consider that. Yeah, maybe my idea is not so good. And so as a whole, we end up with like a much better idea. And that process is so satisfying. I love coming up with an idea. I often will put together a document and a presentation. I basically pitch this idea to like the design team. And then we'll spend like hours talking about it and polishing it and fine tuning it. Maybe end up throwing it away. Maybe end up evolving it into something else. And like that whole process is just like the absolute most enjoyable thing for me to do. So basically, it's all going well. I'm really excited about the thing that we're working on, and I can't wait to talk about it more. And also, just to be clear, this doesn't mean that I'm never going to be doing any videos on the Stampy channel again. At the moment, I don't have any series planned. Like, I'm not planning any new Minecraft videos or anything, but just I'm sure things will come up. I'm sure a certain game will come up, or I have a certain idea for something that I want to do and I will upload it to the Stampy channel. But just to be clear, like don't expect that I'm ever gonna kind of go back anywhere close to the frequency that I used to upload videos. But I am still doing videos in other places. I'm still doing videos with Squishy on their channel. We're doing a bunch of kind of really silly Let's Plays, usually on kind of co-op games or kind of like local like single player games, and that's been really good fun. I'm also doing loads of videos still on the Bonus Points, which is another channel that I have with my friend, and we do a podcast, and like we're doing usually 1 or 2 videos on there every single week. So it's not like I've stopped doing YouTube entirely. It's just kind of that more traditional Stampy style of Let's Play. It's something that I'm not kind of doing anymore. So I am still around. I'm not going completely quiet. And then if you are kind of curious about anything going on with 4J, as I said, I'm trying to kind of keep Stampy relatively separate. So if you do want to kind of stay up to date with that and kind of find out what's going on, the 4J Studios Discord is probably the best place to kind of get information first. And there's plans to do kind of FAQs and stuff there, and I will be involved in some of that. So that's the best place to stay up to date there. So right, hopefully I've answered most of the questions that you would have had. If there's anything else that you're kind of curious about or want to know, if you leave it in the comments below, I will go through and answer as many of them as I can. But if you ask about anything to do with the game that we're working on, I will ignore you, because I'm afraid we are not able to share anything about that yet. But soon, hopefully. Right, that's going to be the end of this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.